Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Eddie, and today I'm gonna tell you about the time that I was almost possessed. Alright. Now, this story is kind of fun. I got more like it, so make sure y'all like and subscribe to the page if y'all do find this interesting. Why China? Why did I go to Beijing in the first place? How did I end up there? There was a program, a study abroad program at my school. I jumped on that. Of course, I didn't have the money. Had to end up hitting Mom Dukes up trying to figure that out. But, she didn't have it, so I ended up having to do the financial aid route. My mom's, I told her about the trip, beforehand. Like, not when I was planning it. Like, I didn't really tell her I was serious about it, until it was time. Like, I was already going to do it. Because I knew my mom, she was going to try to talk me out of it. So, I told her about a month beforehand, and I told her, I'm going like that. And then, of course, oh, no, don't go to China. She started reciting all the stuff she heard on all the news articles, Start telling me, oh, they're going to steal your organs. They're going to take your organs. Oh, don't go over there. Honestly, I ain't going to lie. Listening to her, I kind of started getting a little bit scared. But I had made up my mind. I told myself, I need to see what else is out there in this world. I can't, I'm used to just being around my neighborhood and the most go to the mall or something like that. And there wasn't really much that I traveled. So I was like, I never even got on a plane before this. This is my first plane trip ever. As soon as I was getting off the plane, honestly, I just instant tourist mode. Like, everything was amazing to me, man. Like, even like, I was, oh, look at that. Look at the trash can. Look at the trash can. Look at the little, like, they had a little picture on the trash can. Like, that's look a little different than the ones here. And I mean, everything was just so exciting. Like, the people, like, just looking at everybody, like, even the escalators and shit like that. So, yeah, so next, we went to our hotel. We drove to our hotel briefly before we started the tour. Actually, before I tell you about the tour, and that's where all the shit happened, like, all the possession and stuff like that happened. Before I tell you that night before we was leaving, I'm really picky, okay? I ain't gonna lie, I eat junk most of my life, junk food. So, over there it was like a severe culture shock as far as the food goes. Like, me just trying to adapt to it, I just couldn't do it. Like, I was hungry as hell because the first couple of days I didn't eat anything. Well, very little. I ended up trying to find like a big chain around there that I was familiar with. They had Papa John's, or was it Pizza Hut? I'm not really remembering which one of those it was, but it was one of them too. I ended up just ordering something from them. And it was real late at that point too, about 11 o'clock, 11 at night or something like that. So I was like going down to the front desk and seeing, if they could even help me order the food. They told me, hey, just wait outside in front of the hotel. A delivery driver's going to come. So I'm like, okay, gotcha. I ended up just standing out there for a good while. Big, tall, black guy in China, just standing out at nighttime, bro. But I didn't even feel nervous because, like, it wasn't nothing like the hood or nothing like that. I didn't have to worry about somebody running up with a gun, at least. But, of course, I'm just naturally cautious. So I'm standing there, and I happen to look out my peripheral. Like, I noticed something out the peripheral. I'm like, what's that? It was an elderly woman and a dude probably like in his late 30s. And they were just standing there, and they were just looking at me, right? So I'm sitting here looking at the corner of my eye. I'm like, man, why are these folks looking at me? I ended up eventually just turning around and just looking at them right in the eyes, like on some "can I help you" type of stuff. Cause they were looking and they had a look about them. It wasn't like a curious, I want to see who this is kind of look. In China, like I said in other videos, if you were black and tall, they thought you was a basketball player or some type of celebrity. So, people would run up to me and like give me their babies and take pictures and all that stuff. So I was kind of used to it. It wasn't nothing that was completely unusual, but it's just the way they were looking. That's what kind of made me kind of hone in on them. So I started looking at them, and then that's when they started approaching me and stuff. She walked up on she was, 你好,你好,你在做什么?在做什么?要女朋友吗?要女朋友,很漂亮. Start saying all this stuff. And, at that time, like, my Chinese was, like I said, it was very bad. Like, all the stuff we learned in school felt like it was nothing when I was out there in actual China talking to actual Chinese people. I didn't know what this lady was talking about or couldn't make out a word. So I'm sitting here, 是的, 是的. That means yes. 是的, 是的, 是的. 什么? 什么? That just means what? Shema? I just kept saying that. Like I didn't know what they was talking about. Like, and then that's when the man started talking. He started speaking a little bit of English that he knew, and he's like, "Women." He said, "Girls, pretty girls. You like girls? You like girls? Pretty girls." I'm like, "Yeah, man. I like girls. I'm not no homo or nothing like that. You know, no offense. Like I was just telling him I'm heterosexual. Yeah, I like girls. So what's up? Girls, nice girls. You get in it." As he was talking, like, we're standing right here, right? This black car pulls up with tinted windows. Pulls up right here. They right there. I'm right here. And the window came down on there. And he's like, "Hey, come with me, man." Try to like grab my shoulder a little bit. I take you two girls. We go down the street and turn right over there. We could talk more over there, like that kind of deal. And I was just like, at that moment, like, yo, I'm not fitting lie to you, bro. I swear, all I can hear is Mom Duke's voice. "They gonna take your organs." Bro, I was scared as hell right there. At that point, I was all, "Nah, you ain't getting my organs, man. I need these goddamn things, bro." So I started, booyah. This the one thing they taught us, like, during the plane ride and stuff like that, how to say no thank you to people. Because, a lot of tourists, a lot of people going to run up to you when they know you're tourists and try to offer you their products. So I'm sitting there, "Booyah, xie, booyah, xie, booyah, xie. I'm trying to remain calm because, again, like I said, I'm a tall black guy and I'm in front of this business with these two elderly folks who are speaking Chinese and a little bit aggressively. I didn't want to get locked up abroad, nothing crazy to happen. So I was just, so I ended up getting the hell back. I'm sorry. At that moment, that's when my pizza pulled up. So they kind of saved me when I was like, "Booyah, shit." They were still trying to get me in the car. But my pizza pulled up. And then they started moving down the street when they seen the pizza man. So I grabbed my pizza. I was thank you. Went back in my damn hotel quick as hell. But anyways, back to the story. So the next day, we got on our bus. We took the tour guide and everybody was ready. And we went to the Forbidden Palace. By the way, it's very beautiful. Awesome scenes. A lot of famous scenes in there too. Like, that famous scene where the dude was standing in front of the tank in front of Tiananmen Square. We got to see that. We went to see the Great Wall of China, of course. There ain't no way we can go to China and go to Beijing without going to see that. But here's where the shit actually happened at. Like, it was there was a very popular destination called the Imperial Palaces of the Qing and Ming dynasties. And they kind of like take you into the tombs, kind of like it's several tombs there. It's really interesting. I would definitely recommend going there. Like, our tour guide was really cool, and she knew everything about all of the facts and all of the interesting stuff. Me and one of the kids that we were with there, we were kind of like just goofing around, and not really taking the whole thing serious. And of course, we wasn't being downright disrespectful or nothing like that. We were just still kind of like making little jokes on the side about, some of the stuff that was said. And I remember we came across this big, giant, structureless door. It was like, it was a doorway, but it was just like nothing else around it. Nothing else is built onto it. It's just the door itself. It was just the frame, and you can see the threshold right there. That's pretty much all it was. But it was so fancy, and you could tell by just looking at this structure that it had to exist for at least 2,000 years. This thing, you could just look at it, like the craftsmanship that was put into creating it. It was just so well designed. But I remember looking at this maroon door and like, man, this is so cool. Like, I told my classmate, I was like, "Hey, look, let's jump through it real quick. Let's just keep jumping through it," because it was pretty cool. So we started jumping through it, going around, walking around, and jumping through it again. It was just we were just killing some time, while they was over there looking at a different site. And I remember while we was doing that, an older Chinese gentleman ended up looking at us, and he was like, you could tell he just had this pleased look in his face. And he approached us, and he just started saying things. I couldn't really make out what he was saying. But at that moment, that's when our tour guide came back over there with some of the class. And then she's like, "Oh, no," she said, "Oh, he's just a local. He's trying to warn you to not step on or stand on the threshold of that door there because it's a bad omen, and the people believe that the spirits will feel disrespected if you do this." Everybody else kind of like, nodded to that and started looking off to whatever else they were doing. Me and my classmate, we kind of looked at each other. And we're like, "Hey, let's test the theory. You want to test the theory? He dared me. He was like, I dare you to stand on it, man. I dare you to stand on that. Stand on the threshold. So, of course, me at that age, like I said, I wasn't as mature. I was like, go ahead. All right, man, you ain't said nothing but a word. So I walked up there, jumped on it, stood on it for a little bit, and he said, count to 3, bro. Count to 3 real quick. You know, 'cause I was trying to hurry him get off it. He was like, count to 3. So I was like, 1, 2, 3. And I jumped down, right? And then we left and stuff like that. But, you know, when it was his turn to get on the threshold, like, we noticed the group was kind of like getting out of sight. And it's very packed out there usually. It's a lot of people. You do not want to get lost. I have a story about that, and I'll tell another time. So we rushed back to get to the group, of course, and it was time to go into the tomb. Immediately as we entered the tomb, I just felt like, I don't know how to explain it. I just felt like this presence around me. It felt like something unnatural right there. And I could tell I was the only one experiencing this. But, you know, also I started to hear things a little bit like, it could have been the wind and, you know, the way the voices and stuff, like the people talking in the tomb, they told everyone to be talking low because as a respect thing, you know, you want to talk low inside a grave site. So, you know, you could just feel the acoustics. So everything lingered. The voices kind of like felt like reverb on them, sort of. So, you know, that was kind of scary. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was kind of unsettling. And then not to mention us being so low into the earth at that point, because you had to kind of descend in there. Like, it was kind of cold down there. It felt really chilly. So that was just something that was just going through my mind. I really wanted to kind of get out of this place. I felt all of that pressure immediately just left once we got back out of the tomb. We was back on ground level. Like after we got out of Forbidden City, I didn't feel any more type of weird vibes or anything like that. So everything was good. I stopped thinking about it, honestly. You know, we got to the school, unpacked our things, and everything just seemed to go normal after that. Until about 3 days later. One of my pen pals that I was telling you about earlier that I met through my teacher and everything is a real cool dude. He's from Belize. He was studying at the university he was at for about maybe like 5 years before we got there. So he, you know, his Chinese was amazing. Like he could speak perfectly fluent. He was telling me, hey, look, Eddie, man, you got to come to Shanghai with me. It's only a 2-hour bullet train drive, man. Yo, they got all the best party spots like that. I know you was telling me about how you wanted to see what China's like. You want to see what real China's like. So come on with me. I know all the spots. I know all the people and stuff like that. So, you know, of course I was freaking jumping with excitement to hear this. He took us to a bunch of different spots. We met a lot of different people. I mean, I ain't do nothing. But, you know, we was around a lot of ladies out there. It was pretty crazy. But, yeah, we did our bar hop, our bar crawl, as you would call it. You know, there's folks out there with Lamborghinis. It was crazy. Like I said, I came from nothing. So coming out there to see that, you know, we got in VIP, all that stuff, you know, just kind of feel like you was on top of the world, like that kind of thing. So, we got back to the hotel that night. And, as soon as I got on the elevator, I started having that feeling I was having, back when I was entering the tomb. That awkward kind of like strange vibe started to come over me. I guess I was kind of looking like visibly a little bit uncomfortable for some reason. So my homie asked me, he was like, yo, you good, bro? You good, big bro? Man, you all right? Thinking I was drunk or something. He probably thought I was out. Like I said, we was pretty lifting out there. So he probably thought I was drunk or something. So I just kind of played into that, you know, to try to like, you know, not fuck the vibes up, nothing like that. So I told him, well, you know, I'm all good. Like, you know, I just need a little rest. You know, it's been a long week. I remember like around 3 a.m. sharp just being harshly woken up by something. Like I just remember something like shaking me. I just ended up opening my eyes, and boy, I tell you, I looked at the foot of my bed, and at the foot of my bro's bed was like these fucking giant figures, man. Like had to be at least 12 feet, like because their heads were at the ceiling, or like their head pieces. They were wearing traditional, very fancy clothes. You could tell they were definitely very wealthy in their time or whatever, because their garments were they're so beautiful. Like it was colorful. They had all kind of jewelry on them, like gold and like I don't remember, like their faces though, they were just completely white though. The faces were just whited out, and they just had a look in their eye, like, and they just was looking at me. And I was looking at them, and I remember I just could not move. Like I feel like I was stiff or something, like an action figure or something like that. And I was trying as hard as I can to just move something. Nothing would move, and then I was trying to talk, but no words was coming out. So I guess you could describe this as some type of sleep paralysis or something. But they just stood there at the foot of each bed, just looking at me. And there's something about that look. Boy, I was getting more terrified by the second. I was just trying to holler. I was trying to yell. I was trying to do anything just to get out of this situation. Try to alert my homie, you know. But he was fast asleep, knocked out, didn't budge. So I was just, the more I would try to move, the more I could feel the energy just leaving from my body. Like it felt like energy was leaving from my body. So I just calmed down. I said, just tried to breathe. And I swear this ordeal, it had to probably only last about 5 minutes, but it felt like 2 hours. So at this point, I'm just breathing, just trying to breathe. And then I just gently try to let out some words, and it came through. I just said, "What do you want?" That's when the male figure that was standing directly in front of my bed, he just kind of like smiled at me. He had like this smile, like it was so sinister, but he smiled, and then they just started to fade. And then that's when I just all of a sudden at one got my mobility back. So I'm sitting here like a jerk motion or something. And I guess that woke up my homie. So he like, yo, Eddie, what's going on, man? You good, bro? What the hell? Like that kind of thing. And I was like, I don't know, man. I tried to like just brush it off because I didn't want to tell him what the hell I just saw right there. I knew, like I said, we've been cool for like a year before this point, but this is our first time seeing. I didn't want him to think, that I was on some crazy vibes or something like that. So I said, like, I tried to just play that off. I was like, oh no, man, I just had a crazy dream, bro. I don't even know, man. Shit, let me go back to sleep, bro. So I played it off nicely. He went back to sleep. But I could not go back to sleep after that shit, bro. Like, my eyes is glued, and I was sitting there looking at the wall. I was just thinking about all kind of shit. I started thinking about my girlfriend at that moment. Like, some of the stuff she was saying. Like, sometimes she would say some stuff that I just chalked up to, like, cultural stuff. But, we was staying at a hotel one time, and before we walked in the hotel, she just, hello? Is it okay if we enter? Like that kind of thing. And I'm just looking at her like, what the hell she got going on over? What's that about, right? So we go in the hotel and I asked her. I was like, "What's that about, honey? What's going on with that?" And she's like, "Oh, it's nothing. It's just in my culture, we kind of knock when we got to stay in hotels. We just knock on the door because you don't know what happened in this room. These rooms could be here for years, all kind of what happened on this land even before this hotel was built and stuff like that. And you never know what spirits could be in the room, or if you're kind of like breaking into their space, or what you call it, or if you're walking into somebody's territory, just you need to go respectfully, like that kind of stuff." So I was like, that was interesting to me. I never heard nothing like that, but I just immediately started thinking about that, while I was sitting there, just my eyes glued to the wall. I was like, damn. Me and bro should have knocked on the door before we came here. I was thinking about everything. I was thinking about moms and everything, so what she was saying. But I should have listened, okay, to her when she told me to knock on them doors. And I'm going to leave it like that. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. It helps me by y'all leaving comments or at least giving the video a like. Peace.